Okay. So let's bring some awareness to what we're doing here. Our awareness could be distracted as a practice throughout our day. So part of the practice, yoga is a practice of action and reflection. So growing a muscle to reflect is part of the practice. So let's take a moment to start to draw the awareness from the to-do list and all the other things that have happened and then the things that might happen in the future, and come to what is happening, which is feeling the earth hold the body from below, and feeling particularly the areas of the body that touch the ground, maybe gently pressing in. And then noticing the texture and temperature of the air on the skin, or the weight of the clothing or the material on the skin. And including in your experience of feeling the ground beneath you and the air around you, the breath within you. So beginning to just notice what's happening with your breathing. So now we're really taking the attention from the external closer in to our own experience. Noticing if the breath feels short, feels bumpy, feels long, feels jagged. Noticing the breath in and of itself. Noticing that we are breathing. It can be very powerful. So feeling the earth beneath you, the space and air around you, the breath within you. Just very gently begin to notice what's happening physically in your body. Are there areas that feel tight, that feel rounded forward, that feel arched, that feel achy, that feel good, that feel painful? And then noticing your thoughts. What thoughts are coming through? And if possible, as the thoughts come through now and in the practice, naming, oh, there's a thought, rather than getting caught up in it and spiraling away with it. Oh, there's a thought, and letting it pass by like a cloud in the sky. The next time you feel your body inhale, use that opportunity to draw the palms to touch in front of the center of the chest, or maybe on the center of the chest, or in another way that feels connective for you. And if possible, as you do that, have the experience of taking your outer upper arms back in space to broaden the top of the chest, to broaden the collarbones. And then feel the crown of your head start to come almost magnetized to the base of your spine, on top of the base of the spine. Tracking for yourself, if you haven't, if you don't already know, checking in with yourself, what brings you here on your mat today? What's going on in your life right now that you're wanting to focus on? And let that be present behind the hands at the center of the chest. We'll amplify the intention to be aware, to work with, to have compassion for that. intention, that purpose through the sound of Om. If you'd like to, we'll chant it 3 times together. Inhale. Om. 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 Slow inhale. Long exhale as the mind bows to the wisdom that is inherent and present in this body and in this heart. Continuing to press those outer upper arms back as you release the palms down, and inhale to lift the chin parallel to the earth and start to let some light in through the eyes. Because we've been seated for a moment, let's gently roll forward and come into a tabletop position, spreading the fingers on the mat or on your floor, taking a look at your hands and having the fingers be evenly spread out, and extending your fingers away from the palms of your hand, even your thumbs. To see about pressing the whole palm gently down, but not because you're pushing it down, but because your fingers are extending away. So here, let's roll the elbow creases forward any amount. Take the shoulder blades away from your ears in a nice slow inhale. So you're inhaling on purpose now. And as you exhale, let's tuck the right toes under and slide the right heel back, pressing the outer hips in. So it feels a little bit like the left hip crease pulls back as the hips pull in. Press through the Achilles, through the back of the heel, and extend those fingers forward, shoulder blades down the back. And the neck is long, but it's not tight. Your jaw isn't really holding anything. The jaw is slack. And then inhale. With the next inhale, we'll come back to tabletop. And with the exhale, we'll tuck the left toes, slide the left leg. So the toes slide back, the pressing is through the heel, but then let's take that outer part of the hips, the outer edges, and draw them in toward the midline of the body. Imagining that maybe the right hip, the hip crease pulls back in space a little, evening out the hips, lengthening the belly, and shoulder blades go down the back. Is that accessible here? Just want to check it out. One more breath here, pressing well through the back of the leg. And then inhaling to come back. And just a little bit of movement through the torso, but rather than moving your spine, thinking about moving your spine, let's exhale and press the belly up into the spine. Imagine the organs that are kind of around the belly, pressing in, the belly button moving to the spine. Imagine that your chest, the front of your chest, was pressing into the back body. And that's rounding your spine. Let your head and neck go. Let the shoulders roll as much as feels good. Press the tops of the feet gently down. And take another breath in here. And then on an inhale, we're going to move in the opposite direction, considering what it might be like for the back to press down into the front of the body. So the tailbone will lift, the tailbone area will lift, and the belly will drop, but not because you're dumping into your belly, but because there's the back body is gently pressing in toward the front body, but all the way along the back. So imagine what that might feel like in your upper back. If your upper back was drawing toward the back, was drawing toward the front of your chest. Find your neck and bring it in line with the rest of your spine. So I have my neck way up here, I was talking. So I'll bring my head back down to meet the rest of my spine. And on an exhale, let's take that front body and pull it up to the sky again. So we're rounding here, tailbone sort of drops down, it tucks toward the belly button. And then one more time, the back body draws toward the front body all the way between the shoulder blades. What might that feel like in your back body? And that action of becoming from a different perspective. And then let's find a neutral spine and maybe wiggle the hips left and right. As you wiggle the hips to the left, you might pause for a moment. You might bring your head or your ear to one shoulder and breathe. See if the inhale can come into an outer hip area or the side body. Notice what's going on with your tongue. Is it pushing up, left and right, down? And see if it can just not push. And then we'll come back to center and come back to a seated position. In our seated position, let's interlace the fingers in front of the chest and take a look at your fingers as your fingers interlace, and see if the webbing of your fingers, how close can the webbing of the fingers come together? Can you extend your fingers, not hard, but lengthen your fingers toward the opposite wrist? So we're going to open the palms now forward, the elbows are out. And when you do that, see if you can feel your shoulder blades when you open the palms forward. Press your sit bones down to take the arch out of your back and to help to bring the bottom of the rib cage in rather than it pushing out, because that will arch the low back. Let's inhale here and see now if we can feel the shoulder blades flatter on the upper back. And as we exhale, let's extend the arms forward. It feels a little like we're pushing the elbows toward each other. But see then when the arms are long, if you can pull the arms back into the shoulder sockets, so they're not dangling or pushing forward, creating tension. Re-lengthen fingers toward the opposing wrist. Nice full inhale. Extend the arms forward and track your arms with your eyes as they start to lengthen up. Now, the shoulders aren't creeping up to the ears. It's the armpits that are opening, the side ribs that are opening. So bring that rib cage back in, press the sit bones back down, and then release the palms out and press the air down. Extend from the center of your chest. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as you lower down. Interlace the fingers again. Do it in a way, I would say the opposite way, right? The other pinky finger on the bottom, but I didn't say that the first time. So do it in a way that feels less intuitive, right? Extending fingertips toward the opposing wrist. And if it's not the opposite and it's not conscious, okay, no problem. We're going to open the palms to face forward, have attention on those shoulder blades, see if they can come into the body. And if they can't yet, when you lengthen the arms, see if they can come toward the body, those shoulder blades. Sit bones down, low ribs in. Inhale, extending the arms up. Track with the eyes, the arms. Extend the fingers to the opposing wrist. Keep those low ribs in. And lift the side ribs up. Come out of the hips. Press the sit bones down. Come out of the hips. Lift the side ribs up. And on your exhale, extend the arms out, push the air down, lengthen from the center of the chest, extend the shoulder blades out, away from the body, and release down. Good. On an inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up. You can meet the hands with your gaze if you like, and on an exhale, lateral extension to the right. See about the left sit bone pushing down into the ground and releasing the shoulder blade from the ear with this lateral extension. On an inhale, gently open the chest to the sky. Just a little tiny bit. Shoulder blade goes down the back more. That space between the ear and the shoulder lengthens. It goes away from the ear. And on an inhale, it's a little bit of a backstroke. We're going to open the arm back and release it down like a circle. We'll sweep it forward. So we'll inhale as we sweep forward and up. Exhale as the arm comes back behind and down. Now your neck and gaze can follow if you like. We're going to go 2 more rounds here or not. But then when the arm extends across the ear, this time pause. Take a breath from the hip crease through the fingertip, lengthen. And as you exhale, we'll round forward, sweep the arm to the ground and fold. Inhale to lift the chest, the arms out and up. Exhale, lateral extension to the left. Palm presses down, right sit bone extends down into the earth, so the hips are more even. The hips are more even. So at first we'll see about softening the space from the ear to the shoulder here, taking the shoulder blade away from the neck. But then on an inhale, let's see about opening the chest toward the sky, even so much that you can barely notice it. I wouldn't even notice if I was watching, you know? You could barely notice it, just a little tiny bit. And then exhale and see if the shoulder blade can release away from the ear any amount more. 3 rounds. We're going to do this backstroke again. So we'll inhale, and as we exhale, we'll open and release down. Inhale to sweep across, up, and exhale to release back and down. I'm going to do 1 more round. Just range of motion here, breath and body moving. When the arm sweeps across the ear, this time we'll pause and really lengthen through the fingertips. Feel those side ribs nice and long. Slow, full inhale. And as we exhale, we'll round forward, fold. The inhale lifts the torso, the chest, the arms out and up. Exhale, lateral extension to the right. Keep exhaling, roll forward and fold. Inhale lifts you up, broad through the chest, deep inhale, lateral extension as you exhale, roll forward and fold. So 2 more rounds on your own. Breath, moving the body. The exhale, helping us to release, relax, and let go of everything that we don't need in this moment. The inhale, reminding us that every moment is an opportunity to begin again. We just start over whenever we want. So we're going to finish this last full round. We'll meet in the center. And And as we meet in the center, we'll extend the arms out and up, press the sit bones down, ribs in, lengthen through the fingertips, especially through the thumb, which lengthens the bicep part of the arm, and the pinky finger, that lengthens the tricep part of the arm. Keep the arms up as you exhale, shoulder blades go down the back. On an inhale, lengthening the fingers, opening the palms out to the side, and as we exhale, pushing the air down, lengthening through the center of the chest out through the fingertips. Lengthen and lower, lengthen and lower. And inhale to roll forward. And we'll come into a child's pose for a moment. Big toes touch, knees wide. Lengthening the belly, the ribs, the chest forward. Maybe the arms come out to the sides, palms down. Maybe the arms release out at an angle down toward the legs, or maybe hands come to the heels. Rolling shoulder blades away from the ears. And for just a breath, lengthen the arms forward if they're not already. Press the palms down to lift your elbows up off the ground. Elbows up off the ground. Extend through the fingers, all 10 of them. And as you exhale, take the outer arms and roll them down, the outer upper arms, and roll them down toward the ground. Just a little bit. See if that gives the space between your ear and shoulder, well, more room. It's not so crowded. Good. We'll lift the gaze, lift the chest, inhale and pull forward, coming onto the belly. Hands come beside the chest. Let's lengthen the legs up and back one at a time, giving a little bit more space to the hip crease. And the head comes to the earth. We'll bring the elbows out to the sides to feel the shoulders roll forward. And then pull the elbows and the inner upper arms all the way as close to the ribs as possible, and feel how open the top of the chest can be and feel. Keep those elbows in. The chest might already be lifting a little bit, and lengthen your right and left legs back. So you're extending your legs, not lifting them, just lengthening. As you inhale into a low cobra, shoulder blades release from the ears. Exhale and lower back down. Again, lengthen the legs back. Start to bring the elbows back in space. They're not really moving, but it just helps to lift the top chest. And exhale, lower. And one more time, inhale, lift. We're going to pause here with the lift, exhale, gaze over to the right, a little turn of the neck to the right, inhale back to center. And exhale, a little turn of the neck to the left. Inhale back to center, tuck the toes, exhale, press the hips up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, and walk your legs out a little. You can bend your right knee, lengthen your left leg, and bend your left knee, lengthen your right leg. Lengthening all 10 fingers on the ground, including the thumb. Feeling your breath, feeling your breath. One more time, feeling your breath as you move here a little. The exhale's clearing you out. The inhale's reminding you of your aliveness. We're gonna pause here. You can walk the feet a little closer together for stability if you like. We're gonna move just a little bit.
So we'll inhale and extend the right leg, lift it up and back any amount. And as you exhale, the leg lowers back down. The bottom of the exhale, right foot comes to the ground. Same thing, left leg, inhale. So the 3-leg dog. Exhale, leg lowers, bottom of the exhale, foot comes to the ground. Inhale to tabletop, nice big inhale. Exhale to child's pose, hips come to heels. 3 slow breaths here. Arms in whatever shape feels good. They can be back behind, off to the side, forward. Last full breath. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, pull yourself forward. Hands beside the chest. Forehead to the ground, lengthen the legs back. Elbows come out to the side. Inhale, pull the elbows in towards your side body to help to open and lengthen your chest. Extend the legs back. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, gaze to the right. Left hip down. Inhale, center. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Right hip presses down. Inhale, back to center. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog, press up and back. Walking the legs out, let it feel good. Put some weight into the pinky toe edge of the feet. Put some weight into the heels of the feet. So the pinky toe edge of the feet is that it connects to the outer legs. The heels connect to the backs of the legs. Good, and then we'll pause and maybe bring the legs closer together for stability. 3-legged dog with the left leg first. So inhale, extend the leg up and back any amount. Exhale, lower down, bottom of the exhale, foot touches the ground. Right leg up and back, inhale, don't let the leg turn out. Toes face the ground. Exhale to lower. Inhale to tabletop, big inhale. Exhale, child's pose. We're gonna pause here. Inhale, slow through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more just like that. Take a gentle moment here to roll the forehead left and right, to massage the forehead. Release the jaw. Let the tongue be not pushing on anything. And then just for a moment, see if the arms can come back in child's pose and hold on to the feet. And if it's not comfortable or possible, then that just won't happen. But even if the arms come back beside the legs, if the hands can hold on to the feet, go ahead and pull the hands into the feet and take the shoulders away from your ears. Let your head and neck go. Good. Extending the arms forward. Nice big inhale brings you back to tabletop. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Last time. We're gonna walk toward a forward fold. We're gonna walk toward a forward fold. So as you inhale, start to walk your hands and feet closer together. Let's have the feet as wide as your mat. And if you don't have a mat, then your feet as wide as your hips. The inner feet as wide as your hips. So the feet are wider here. I'm gonna come off to this side. You know, they're pretty wide. Yeah, good. Bend the knees and drape your belly onto your thighs. Let your head and neck go. You can release the arms down. You can clasp opposite elbows with your hands. The weight's gonna go forward in the feet. Not a problem. Try not to grip the toes. Pull your shoulder blades away from your ears here, please. And for an exhale, push your heels down, any amount. Good. Release the arms, press your heels down. Inhale, fly the arms, float the arms long beside your ribs, lengthen your spine, and then inhale to lift your chest up and come to standing. It's a different way of coming to stand, certainly, that takes into consideration that the chest is open. So we're going to come into a standing pose for the side body and the hips and the thighs and the balance of the body. It's called tree pose. Vrikshasana. Yep, Vrikshasana. I'm going to turn my camera down just a little bit because the standing leg will be our right leg. And the left leg will be the leg that bends off to the side. So our standing leg is our balance leg. Now, if balance is challenging, that's not a problem because we do have walls, we have desks, we have furniture. So you can stand beside, a piece of furniture and hold with your hand. You can stand with your back at a wall, right? No problem. It's good to have that support. So the bottom of the left foot is going to touch the inner right leg. It can be at the calf. It could be kind of like a kickstand. The toes can be at the ground. The bottom of the foot can come into the calf. Noticing I'm not saying joints here. The inner leg, right? But once we start to get up into the inner leg, we've got to press because you can see this hip wants to push out. It wants to push out. So we're going to have to push with the outer hip into the bottom of the foot, and the bottom of the foot is going to have to press back well. The standing leg toes lengthen rather than grip. The thigh of the left leg extends down, and that's what helps to even out these hips. And I've just lowered my leg. I have a hip issue, right? So if I lower my bent knee leg, then I can lengthen my hips down. Balance. I can lengthen my hips down. I can take that thigh, the top thigh, toward the knee. And then let's release. And take a moment to walk the legs as close together as they come. Press the heels down, press the outer feet down, press the toe mounds down. But take the arches of the feet, just the arches, and lift them up. Shoulder blades down the back, outer upper arms back, crown of the head ascending, lifting. It's not the chin that lifts, it's the crown of the head. And release, relax, and let go. Vrikshasana on the other side. So now the left leg will be the right leg will be the standing leg. I don't know what I said the first time. Anyway, I don't know what I did. I'm all mixed up here. I'm supposed to be mirroring, but I'm not. Okay, so I think it's the right leg that's the standing leg now, and the left leg is bent. I won't be opposite of you, I don't think. So the first round here, we're pressing. We're taking the outer hip of the standing leg and pressing it inward.
We're taking the foot of the bent knee and pressing it inward, right? So the energies are coming inward. And then the bent leg hips got to come down. That thigh's got to move to the knee. And release, relax, and let go. Good. So Tadasana, one more time. So in Tadasana, we're lengthening the legs down, lifting the hip crease up, the hip points, lifting those side ribs, outer upper arms back, shoulder blades down, crown of the head up. And releasing. Good. One more time, Vrikshasana. I'm going to start. So the left leg is the balanced leg, the standing leg. The right leg is bent. As you find Vrikshasana, this time you might have your hands to the wall behind you. That's a great option. Pressing the hands down to lift the chest. Take shoulder blades down the back. You could extend the arms in Urdhva Hastasana. We did this earlier. Lengthening the fingertips up, shoulder blades down the back. Right hip down, one more breath. And release, relax, and let go. Vrikshasana, last side. So the outer hip, bottom of the foot pressing in. Left hip crease extending down, thigh to the knee. Hip points lift. Maybe Urdhva Hastasana. Shoulder blades down the back, crown of the head ascending. Toes on the standing foot long, not lifted, long. And release, relax, and let go. Tadasana for just one moment. Heels extend down. Outer feet from the outer hips, the outer feet go down. The toe mounds press down. The toes extending forward. So we feel the tops of the thighs coming online into our awareness when the toes extend forward. And then the arches lift to the inner calves to the inner thighs. The inner thighs come up, lifting the hip points up, lengthening the side ribs up. Shoulder blades down, crown of the head up. Tongue's not up. And release, relax, and let go. Good. Let's make our way back down to the mat. So we'll inhale, extend the arms forward and up. Nice big inhale, heels press down. Exhale, swan dive. Lengthen the torso forward. As you lengthen forward, go ahead and bend those knees, walk the feet wide. Hands to the earth, step the legs back into a plank position just for one moment. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, lower down onto your belly and rest your head there for just a moment on the earth. Arms can go long in front of you or arms out to the side, maybe like cactus arms, whatever feels nice. Good. And then we're going to roll onto the right side of our body. If that takes you away from seeing the screen, then just turn yourself around. We're going to lengthen onto the right side of the body and have the head resting on the right arm. Now, if you're on a mat, I'd like for you to try and line up the right side of your body on the edge, the back edge or the front edge of the mat, whichever, so that you can feel your shoulders, your hips, and your heels all in the line of that mat. Now, if you're not on a mat, then it's not possible. Just do the best you can. But what I found is that I don't actually know what
a line is when I get onto the ground. I'm just sort of a pile. So you'll feel that there are parts of your body that are touching the ground and parts that are not. So let's take a moment and see if we can lengthen. So I'm going to start with the upper body. I'm going to take my top hand, push it down into the ground, and lengthen my side ribs forward, lengthen that bottom arm longer to take more of my belly, the side of my belly, to the ground. And then I'll stack my legs. We'll see if you can stack your legs. Use your top hand as a kickstand if you like. And press the legs, the bottom and top legs together. The feet are active. Press through the heels as if you were standing in Tadasana. But you don't get the feedback of the earth. This is called Anatasana. You don't get the feedback of the earth when there's nothing underneath the feet. So try and take that experience from Tadasana that we just had and lengthen through the heels, press through the heels. Good. Nice slow inhale here, breathing into the body, especially this right side that is actually lengthening. And then as you exhale, relax your head more. Now you're welcome to stay here in Anatasana, lengthening, breathing through the whole side body, working on balance that isn't tightening your jaw. You could also start to bend this top knee and bring the bottom of the foot onto the bottom of the top leg foot onto the bottom leg. Just like we were in tree pose, Vrikshasana, you can start to come into Vrikshasana on your side here. And see if you can take that top hip crease down. So the bottom or the top foot can come into the calf, into the upper thigh. Let's take one more round of breath. Good. And then let's roll onto the belly again. As you roll onto your belly, let's lengthen the whole body. So extend the arms long. Lift and lengthen each leg. Lift and lengthen each leg. Get it longer. Lengthen your arms. Shoulder blades down the back, forehead to the ground. Take a nice big inhale and extend from your hips down and from your belly forward. Just get longer, longer, longer. And then release, relax, and let go. Hands can come underneath your forehead or one cheek to the earth, whatever feels good. And just breathe. One more exhale here. And then let's roll onto the left side, lengthening the left arm underneath your head for a pillow. Now you could, I forgot to say this on the first side, you could bend your elbow, your left elbow, and rest your head in your hand. But, which is great, but we want to first get our body into a line. So if you're on a mat, go ahead and find that line for yourself. I'm gonna be on the back edge. You could be on the front edge. And then using the top hand as a kickstand, lift and lengthen that bottom side of the upper body. Go ahead, lengthen your belly, get more of that side body onto the ground, and then rest your head, however you're gonna do it, head in hand or head in the upper arm. So we'll keep that top hand as a kickstand in front of us if you like. And then the legs come together, they press together. The feet are active, the heels are pushing away from the head. Toes are spread wide. You're welcome to stay here or to start to move into Vrikshasana on your side. So the top leg foot finds the inside of the bottom leg and presses. That knee bends or not. Our exhales are releasing the head and neck more. So it's a dual experience of the hips and legs lengthening, the balance on the side body, and the letting go of the head and neck, the jaw. So on this exhale, we're going to release if the top leg is bent, and then slowly we're going to roll onto our backs. So just make your way onto your back. As you come onto your back, let's bring the legs in, holding behind the knees or at the shins, whatever feels good in your body right now. And we're breathing slow. Maybe it feels good to be very still here. Maybe it feels good to rock side to side. Good, and then we'll take the feet to the ground. And the bottoms of the feet touch. The bottoms of the feet will touch each other, and the knees go wide as feels good. Now, one thing that happens here is the low back's gonna arch. So take your hand to your buttock flesh and pull your buttock flesh toward your heels, manually lengthening your low back. Press the right bottom of the foot into the left bottom of the foot, and then press the left foot into the right foot. From the heel all the way to the toes. This will keep the legs a little bit more active. And then release the arms out to the side. Roll the right shoulder blade up underneath you and the left shoulder blade up underneath you. And then just gently lengthen the back of your head so the back of your neck gets long. And breathe. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the depths of the body. Imagine that your inhale could fill all the way in to the base of the spine, to the tailbone. So you fill all the way up, the whole cavity of the torso fills up on the inhale and empties out as you exhale. So all that air comes back out. So as you inhale, you fill up from the base of the spine, front, and to the sides of the body. So the left side and the right side fill up. And as you exhale, belly button comes to spine and the low ribs stay in, allowing the top of your chest to gently open. Breathing here a few more rounds. The tongue's not pushing into anything. Imagine your head getting heavier. One more round of breath. Good. You can use your arms if you like on the outside of your thighs to bring your legs back together. And then one more time, let's draw the legs in, give ourselves a little hug. And we'll move into a gentle twist to Tharparvartanasana. So the arms can come, you can do this pose in a number of different ways. I'm just gonna lead it this way, but you might like to do it a different way. The arms come down alongside the body and then they sweep out about halfway between the hips and the shoulders. So they're out in a diagonal. And you can take your shoulder blades into your body from here. We'll press the inner legs together, all the way from the legs to the inner feet. Everything pushes together. Your legs can come into your body as much as you like. On an exhale, the knees turn, or the lower body turns, the knees move over toward the left, or the right elbow, the right elbow. The right hand pushes down and away from the body, so the left shoulder releases to the ground. The legs stay pushing together as you inhale and they come back to center. And as you exhale, the legs push together. They move over toward the left elbow. The left hand pushes down and away, so the right shoulder releases down. Inhale and you come back to center. So as you go back and forth with your breath and the knees move toward the right and left elbows, whatever elbow the legs go toward, that hand pushes down and away, so the opposite shoulder releases down. I'm going to do a few more rounds here to release anything in the low back. You might also imagine here that the internal organs start to turn away from your bent knees. So the right side of your belly turns away from the knees turning right over to the left. And when your knees go to the left side of your belly, your internal organs turn to the right. We'll do 2 more rounds. And after your second round, one more little hug in. If it feels nice, you can bring your forehead to your knees. You can give yourself a big old squeeze in and squeeze your toes and squeeze your eyebrows and squeeze your elbows. And inhale and hold at the top of your inhale and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then open mouth, exhale, and let the whole body go into Shavasana. And your Shavasana might be different. You might lie on your belly. You might sit for Shavasana. You might have support under your body in Shavasana. But consciously let go of your breath. In Shavasana, we get the experience of being held by the earth, of not having to do anything at all. And that's important training. So the body is being breathed. The front of the body softening in toward the back body. And the back body softening and spreading out in all directions for Shavasana. And begin to notice the earth holding your body. Start to feel your soft inhales. And on an inhale, the hands slide to touch the belly. And on an inhale, the feet slide toward your body. And then taking your time to roll to your side. And pressing your arm and hand down to roll up to a seat. Bringing palms to touch at the center of the chest. Noticing what's present in your body, your mind, your breath. If you'd like to join in the sound of Om once, we'll inhale together. Om. On an exhale, bowing the mind to the wisdom and light, your body and heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.